Good afternoon, everyone. I'm John Harper. Let me introduce our host for today, as Carrie Fink is on vacation. So let me introduce from the home office of Helping Seniors of Brevard. Here is none other than Nancy Deardorff. Hi, Nancy.
Hi, good afternoon, John. How are you?
Wonderful, thanks.
Our president of Helping Seniors of Brevard. Hi, everybody. I'm Nancy Deardorff with Helping Seniors of Brevard, and I am your host today in for Carrie Fink. And welcome to the Helping Seniors of Brevard Radio Hour. I'm so excited about my guest today. Our guest is a longtime supporter of Helping Seniors of Brevard and has a lot to share with us today. And it's none other than Dr. Kevin Kilday with Faith College of Natural Health. Good afternoon, Dr. Kilday.
Good afternoon, Nancy, and everybody in Radioland.
How are you today?
I'm terrific.
Good.
I'm very blessed, and it's a nice day out there. And,
it's beautiful.
Sun shining, and it's just gorgeous.
It is beautiful. A little warm, but it's better than bad weather, so I'll take it.
Exactly. I've always said I'd rather bake than freeze.
That's true. That's true. I think a lot of people share that with you. So let's get into it. You're with Faith College of Natural Health. I have a lot of questions for you. I myself was a practicing registered nurse for over 33 years. I don't practice anymore, but that kind of puts me in a category of the traditional medicine, traditional healthcare realm. Although I've always been a big believer in natural health, although I don't know a lot about it. So I want to find out a little bit about you. When did you become interested in natural health? Tell us about your background and how and when you became interested in natural health.
Well, I've always been interested in natural health for many years. I had a neighbor, many years ago, in my teenage years, that was very much into nutrition and into supplements, and so she got me interested in it. And at the time, I had some acne and stuff when I was a teenager, and the doctors at the time were just giving out actually antibiotics. They were giving out tetracycline.
Yeah, I remember that.
For treatment of acne.
Yeah.
And it wasn't really working for me, so she helped me out, and I did a little bit of research at the time. I had to go to the library and and look up studies and things like that, and I kind of her and I put together a little protocol, and I really pretty much cleared up my my teenage acne at the time. It was some vitamin C and some vitamin A, and a good multivitamin, so that's about as far back as I can remember.
That's a long time, though.
Yeah.
So it sounds at a very young age you were interested in natural health.
Yes, and ever since then it was kind of like a, it's just kind of a hobby at the time, because I had a totally different professional career at the time. So, but I always, kept up with it, and then, when I got more involved in computers and stuff, I was able to study, research studies, and I just have a curious mind. If the doctor diagnosed me with something and I didn't agree with his prescription, then I would, look up an alternative.
Right.
So.
Right. So for our listeners, and for me, how would you define natural health? What is natural health?
Well, natural health, I also use the term holistic health, and it's, it's using, natural products, like herbs, for instance. Herbs is a totally, science within itself. And a lot of people don't realize that a lot of the drugs today are derived from from herbs.
Yes,
The
yes.
pharmaceutical companies.
Digitalis is one of them.
Right, right.
A main heart medication, yeah.
Right, and they, like even I believe, like aspirin, for instance, I think uh, I think derived from feverfew. I think I'm just going off the top of my head, but those are a couple of the examples. But that's what the pharmaceutical companies do. They get a hold of herbs and they research them and what their whole thought process is to duplicate it synthetically,
Right, right.
artificially. So sometimes when they tweak it, it doesn't work as well as as the original herb.
Right, right.
So that's what so that's herb part of it, and holistic health / natural health. Holistic is taken from the word whole, like whole body.
Yes.
Which is inclusive of mind, body, spirit.
Yes.
And I believe. Actually, I just wrote an article last month for Spotlight magazine, and it's actually called the key principles, for the holistic approach to life.
Yeah.
And I I did it from a personal point of view because I don't like to use the word old. I'm maturing.
Me either.
I'm maturing. I'm like a fine wine.
Right, right, right. When people complain about aging, I always say it's better than the alternative.
Right.
And I say that jokingly, but seriously, many people don't get to enjoy being able to grow old. So
Right.
aging, particularly aging healthy, is a privilege.
That's right. Amen.
Yes,
And,
amen. Not everybody gets that.
And in the article, which hopefully it would be a future article in the the Senior Scene magazine,
Yes.
who I write for periodically, because I covered a holistic approach. I mean, not just mind, body, and spirit, but your emotional health, your mental health, your social, your social skills. It all, it's all part of it.
Absolutely.
You know.
I'm a big believer in that and always have been, even though I was, mostly involved as a nurse in what I'd call mainstream medicine. But absolutely, and more on the traditional medicine side is more and more science is or has connected the mind and the body. There absolutely is a mind-body connection.
Right.
And a connection within the body. Like there is a huge connection, you could probably speak to this, between our digestive system and our immune system.
That's right.
And our brain, our different body systems communicate with each other.
That's right. They, studies are showing that that the immune system is connected to the gut and vice versa.
Right.
So we always hear, well, take care of your immune system, which is good, but a lot of times, depending on the person, you really have to start with the gut. If the gut is unhealthy, then you have to make that right. You really got to work on all areas of your life, not just mind, body, and spirit, but really anything that affects your general makeup on a day-to-day basis.
Right. Can you tell us a little bit more about the key principles for holistic approach to life that you wrote about?
Well, as I said, it's all connected. Your physical health, your mental health, your social health, your emotional health, and your spiritual health. That's very important. A lot of people don't think of that. Like for instance, over the last few years, I've been very much involved in the addiction recovery industry.
Yes.
All right, and traditionally, it's the thing is just don't do it and go to to recovery meetings.
Right.
All right. But it's not that easy. A lot of times they are forgetting about the mental part of it, and I'm really glad that there's very much of a mental health awareness going on today.
Yes.
Not only in the addictions field, but just across the board.
Oh, yeah, much better than when I first started out as a young nurse. Yes.
People are starting to see now, like, hey, I'm kind of depressed, and it's like it's affecting my life, and hey, I'm having these anxiety attacks, and it's affecting my family and my life and my job.
Oh, it's an epidemic, if you ask me. Depression and anxiety, and
right.
a lot of young people are experiencing levels of depression and anxiety never seen before.
Right. In my personal opinion, I think it's, it might be just too much, game time, computer time, isolation.
And perhaps social media.
Right.
Yeah, the pressures of social media.
Right. They're starting to address that now.
Yes.
But
yes.
it all comes down to, the bottom line is comes down to the parenting skills also. It's up to us as adults to
Yes.
to see to it that there's a balance in your child's life also.
Exactly. Yeah.
You got to get them away from that TV. You got to get them away from the computer, the phone. I've seen kids with phones that are like 10, 11 years old.
Yeah.
It's too young.
I remember, I don't want to sound like, I hate to use the word old. I don't want to sound like an old person. But I will say, I'm a woman of a certain age, and I grew up before the internet with dial-up home phones on the wall, that whole thing. And I remember I couldn't wait to go outside and play with my friends.
Right.
TV was an option if there was bad weather outside or it was nighttime, get to watch a couple of shows. But it wasn't a constant diet of television.
Right.
And video games really weren't a thing back then.
Right, and you start to develop your social skills.
Right.
That you carry on into adulthood.
Exactly. Exactly.
And you start carrying on being competitive. Because, let's face it, we used to just go out and, I don't know about you, but we used to get a little pinky ball and a broomstick, and we would go out and put a baseball game together out on the side street.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's called stickball.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I grew up in Massachusetts, and we, for part of the time, and then my family moved to Satellite Beach, but I remember playing street hockey. Mm-hmm. Of course, I lived in a neighborhood where there wasn't too much traffic, so it was easy to play.
Right. Yeah, well, that's why it's
put the nets
street.
Up. Yes, yeah, and it was fun. I just can't imagine being indoors all day. Or today, it's not just kids; it's full on adults. That there seems to be a lot of, I guess I'll call it an addiction or a propensity for gaming. Mm-hmm. Which is nothing wrong with, but again, I'm not sure a steady diet of anything is good for us.
Right.
Yeah, and so, I know people that spend hours and hours and hours of every day gaming online with folks.
Right.
Yeah.
And again, like one of the key principles I brought up in this article is balance.
Yes.
Regardless if you're, a kid or you're an adolescent or an adult or a mature adult, it's all in balance. You have to have you got constantly bombarded with in today's life a lot of things.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm a mature individual. I've been around a long time, and I can handle stress, but geez. Sometimes.
Well, and a lot of stress that young people go through today that they carry with them, things that perhaps you and I didn't have to deal with when we were young. And maybe this is my age showing, but it feels like to me that maybe my childhood and people around my age childhood was a little bit more carefree than young folks today.
Right.
That's a lot to carry around.
Sure.
And of course, I'm a big believer in balance too, and the mind-body connection. And you add stress in there, and depression and anxiety, and then it starts to come out in physical ways, and mental health ways. Yeah. So.
But they're starting to address these things. I mean, like even the medical industry. Even though we're talking about alternative health and holistic health and stuff, I'm glad to see that the medical industry, especially the younger doctors,
Yes.
are starting to do integrative medicine. Integrative means to combine.
Right.
To combine not only your medical knowledge, but you're combining it with natural health.
Yes, I'm glad for that
or
too.
Alternative
Yeah, back
health.
in nursing school when I went, we did obviously have courses on nutrition, and we had courses on physical exercise, but there really was no segment to address natural health and whole body health like
Right.
that. It was all chopped up. It was all separate. There was a psychology part of our studies in nursing, but it was very separate. There was no discussion about the mind-body connection. And really, I don't think we ever talked about anxiety or stress, that kind of thing.
Well, it's unfortunate, but I've done some speaking engagements and stuff, and I always brought up this point during my talk about now I'm not bad mouthing the medical industry or anything.
Right.
I was just talking about the training of doctors. From start to finish. I mean, they graduate college. So that's a 4-year college, and they go on to medical school, another 4 years, and maybe another 2 to 4 years of residency.
Right.
All said and done, they got about 15 years of school, at county high school and all that. But just in higher education, probably, about 12 to 15 years, maybe.
Right.
All right. And this was admitted by the AMA in their journal. They only have 19.5 hours of nutrition training in medical school.
Yeah, that's shocking.
19.5 out of all those years of training.
Right. I suppose, that's where dietitians and nutritionists come in, but not, people don't keep up with dietitians or make appointments with dietitians and nutritionists like they do their primary care doctor.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And but like I said, the industry's changing a little bit. It's taking time. There's a number of doctors out there that are practicing functional medicine. Is another word for integrative medicine, but unfortunately, they're few and far between. But they're out there. You just have to look
do you
for them.
see? Does Medicare cover Medicare and insurance cover integrative or functional medicine?
I think
not.
it's just a case-by-case basis.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe
some Medicare Advantage plans. I don't believe that original Medicare covers anything to do with holistic health.
Well, I'll give you an example of what I'm going through. I don't mean to interrupt. I apologize.
No, that's okay.
I've decided that, I'm carrying too much weight, all right, and it's not good for me, all right? So I've decided that I need to get involved in a weight loss program.
Right.
All right. Unfortunately, with my busy schedule and stuff like that, I really want to do it under the care and observation of a physician. Okay.
Sure.
Now I consulted with my Medicare Advantage plan. I'm not going to mention the company, but and they don't have anything.
Right.
They don't have any. If I was a diabetic, I can get some services there.
Right.
But if I was a pre-diabetic, or if I have
but nothing for being
inflammation
overweight
or GERD or anything, which is all related,
right?
To diet, that they don't.
So you're on your own financially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's it has to change. Let's
Right,
put it that way.
right.
You know,
Absolutely.
Today's, the day and age, money's, tight for a lot of people with this transition of the government and changes going on and stuff. Things.
Well, and
things will
COVID, the
get.
COVID pandemic really did change everything price-wise. So that had a lot to do with rising prices, and that's a whole other radio show. But I do want to ask you a loaded questions. We have about a minute before our break, and this is loaded. I'm sure this is a loaded question. We're going to have to continue this after the break, but I wanted to ask you, in general, and from your point of view, does natural health, holistic health, shy away from or work in tandem, believe in working in tandem, or not with what we call traditional mainstream medicine and healthcare?
Well, no. I mean, like I said, if it wasn't for some integrative functional medicine doctors out there, that's no. I mean, you're kind of like on your own, and like when I was helping, a lot of cancer clients,
Yeah.
all right, because I had an alternative cancer protocol, and it was primarily, detoxing and supplements and changing diet, a little bit of exercise, and but I always had, problems with. Not problems with their doctor, but they would come back to me and say, "Well, I mentioned it to my doctor, and he just
Ignored it or
killed the whole
right.
idea."
Right.
Yeah. So
Well, I want to talk about that more as we're coming up on the break. I have a lot of questions about that. How you feel that folks in traditional medicine, mainstream medicine, and holistic health can work better together for the health of our community and all of us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So coming up on a break here, and this is Helping Seniors Radio. I am Nancy Deardorff in for Carrie Fink, and we'll be back after this break.
The Helping Seniors of Brevard show underway. Nancy Deardorff is here today, filling in for the vacationing Carrie Fink. And Nancy, go ahead with the second half of the show. Interesting conversation so far.
Thanks, John, our president. And one of the founding board members of Helping Seniors of Brevard.
That's right.
You and our late founder, Joe Steckler, go back how many years now?
We go back to the early 90s, actually.
Yeah, before the Brevard Alzheimer's Foundation.
Yeah,
So you
right.
guys go way, way back. I remember being on the radio with you and Joe up in Cocoa.
Mm-hmm.
And we would have, I can't remember the name of the program. I think it was Aging with Dignity.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I remember that. Good days. Good
Yeah,
days.
It was good stuff. Good
It
programming.
was. And so Helping Seniors of Brevard is Joe's legacy. We exist for the sole purpose to improve the quality of life for seniors in Brevard. We do this through a variety of ways, through education, information, resources. We'll talk a little bit more about that at the end of the program, how you can get in touch with us if you need us. And all of the information, education, and resources we provide are free to our seniors. Seniors are important, and we need to realize that Brevard County is a senior county. We use, Helping Seniors of Brevard, Dr. Kilday, we use the AARP definition of a senior, which is 50 or older. And there are more seniors in Brevard County than there are people under the age of 18. Yet there are much fewer programs for seniors than there are kids, quite frankly. So that's why we exist, to put a spotlight on seniors and try to improve the quality of life as best we can for seniors and help them live the best life possible and prepare for the things that can and some inevitably will happen as we age. But today I am here with Dr. Kevin Kilday with Faith College of Natural Health. I'm so happy to be talking with you. And we left before the break talking about does holistic health shy away from or prefer to work in tandem with those in traditional medicine. And you touched on that. I've never really seen in my years in nursing a primary care physician in mainstream medicine say to a patient, I'm going to refer you over to this holistic doctor or this holistic health practitioner. But how does it work the other way around? If you're seeing someone who does not have a primary care physician in the mainstream medicine sense, and in your experience, you're seeing them as a patient, are there times when you feel that you need to incorporate mainstream medicine for that person?
Well, I'm not a medical doctor, and so as a holistic practitioner, and even the whole industry of practitioners, holistic practitioners always stay in their lane.
Right.
Okay. We're not licensed to be medical doctors, and when it comes to the point where we're seeing a client that we feel needs medical attention, of course, right away we suggest that to the client.
You do.
To call their medical
okay.
doctor.
And that's good to know, because I wish it was the other way around as well. It should be, equal parts, really. But it's good to know. So if you're seeing someone for natural or holistic health and you identify something that you feel needs traditional medical intervention, you will have a discussion with that client or that patient.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we always we always do that. Even with medicines, we never advise a client to stop taking any medicines or
right.
or substitute vitamins in lieu of medicines. Our go-to answer is, please discuss that with your doctor.
Right.
Before you make any changes whatsoever to your medications.
Right. Well, that's good to know. And I'm guessing that there's probably 3 types of people in this world when it comes to holistic health and traditional medicine. I'm guessing that there are those folks out there that are absolutely opposed to traditional mainstream medicine. They feel our healthcare system is broken, which it is in many ways. They don't trust doctors, they don't trust the healthcare system, and they just don't even seek medical help in that realm. Then there's probably those that believe in traditional mainstream medical help, medical health care, and they wouldn't have anything to do with holistic health.
Right.
They think it's some sort of voodoo or whatnot. And then I imagine that there's those people in the middle, which I am, who strongly believe that the two should work in tandem together.
Right. Well, my question to people who are strictly traditional medicine, I ask them. I say, well, how are you feeling? Is your doctor addressing all of your health concerns? Are you, is the medicine that you're being prescribed, is it helping your condition? Is it curing it? That's a word that really doesn't exist in the medical field. That sounds like a shock to some people, but
no, you're absolutely right.
Yeah,
people hesitate to say you're cured. You don't hear that word anymore.
Right.
You hear remission,
right,
stabilized.
Right.
That kind of thing. And of course, there's chronic health conditions that don't go away. They're just managed. But yeah, you don't hear the word cure very often.
Right,
People don't want to go out on a limb and say you're cured.
Right. Yes, that's a tough word, and even we don't use it, at all.
Right.
But and like I said, I just inquire about them. But if they're very rigid about I'm just going to stay with my doctor and just listen to what he says, and I don't want anything to do with holistic health, I would just say, okay.
Right. Right. It's up to them. I wish more people would look at both sides of the same coin, really.
Right, right.
So now what I want to get to, Dr. Kilday, is I want to talk about Faith College of Natural Health. I want you to share with our listeners, what is Faith College of Natural Health? What kind of programs do you offer? I have so many questions. Are these certificate or degreed programs? Tell us about the background and what's going on with Faith College of Natural Health.
Well, Faith College of Natural Health was something that I decided to do right before the quarantine of COVID.
Okay.
All right. And I actually took advantage of the downtime, during that 30 days or however long, you decided to quarantine yourself. I took advantage of that time and started putting my college together.
Okay.
But my whole idea behind it is, like I said, I'm, I am a mature individual. I have learned a lot of natural health stuff over the years, and my whole idea is really just to share it.
Right.
To share it with people, and the ultimate goal is to educate people so they can help themselves, they can help their families, they can help their close friends, or go in business for themselves and help the general public.
Right.
By helping, I mean just to become healthier. You become healthier through education.
So people would attend Faith College just for the pure learning experience, to incorporate that into their own lives or the lives of their loved ones. But they could also really make a career out of natural medicine, yes?
Yes. We train people to become health coaches.
Yes.
That's really the actual second certification that we offer. The very first one, just by taking 5 courses, you actually become certified as a natural health advocate. Okay.
Okay.
And that's just to to have a little certification and saying, well, I believe in natural health, and I want to start sharing my very basic knowledge. Okay.
Right.
So the next certification will be health coaching. Okay. To become a natural health coach.
Okay.
All right. Which just takes taking an additional 5 courses. So the first certification you can actually complete in 3 months or less.
Oh, that's pretty fast.
Right. The second certification would be another 3 months or less. So in 6 months or less, you can really become a natural health coach. Okay?
Excellent. And now, are there degreed programs at Faith College?
Yes, there is. And
Okay.
And then after that, we take those 10 courses that you have completed already, and we will apply it towards an associate's program.
Okay.
Okay. Which will require, each of our courses are 3 credits. So after completing the first 10 courses, you already have 30 of our college credits already.
Okay.
Okay. And then all you have to do is take another 10 courses for another 30 credits, and then you will meet the qualification of 60 credits to get our associate's degree.
Well, you got my attention. I'm already a believer in holistic health, but that's rather exciting. Now,
and what's really good
Yeah.
is we're we grant life experience credits, up to 15 credits for anybody involved in the medical industry.
Okay.
That's including CNAs.
So my experience as a nurse
LPNs.
would count?
Yes, you will automatically get 15 credits.
Okay.
All right. Really anybody, in the medical industry that's, has some sort of certification.
Right.
Or licensure or whatever. And then we move on to the civil servants. Any EMTs, any police officers, any firefighters, as well as and also veterans. They're not really civil servants, but
right.
But you know what I'm saying.
Well, that's wonderful that you offer veterans the credits as well.
Right. So
dietitians. What about a physical therapist, a speech therapist?
Yes.
Okay,
so physical therapists. I mean, they go. They do a lot of courses on anatomy.
Yeah, they sure do. Oh, they
right?
sure do. Yes.
So, which is one of our courses in there is anatomy.
Yes.
Or a couple of them, I should say.
Yeah.
So, so yes, and we also, on top of just life experience, because life experience means you're working in that field. I mean, I would also examine of the schooling that, let's say, you had,
right,
as an RN. And I would examine the schooling you have, and if you have like an equivalent of 2 years of college education or more, those are totally transferable to us.
Right, right.
So between life experience and if you come as a I'm just guessing. So if it takes 2 years to get an LPN or an RN license, then you would actually start out in our bachelor's program.
Right. Oh, that's wonderful. So you have an associate's and a bachelor's.
Yes. So the next level is a bachelor's program, which after completing those 60 credits.
What's the highest level you offer of degree programs?
Well, PhDs.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, that's great to know. So let me ask you. What do you see as obviously some people would want to do this just for the pure education and knowledge of it. But for those that might be interested in getting into a career, what are the career opportunities for someone with a certification or a degree in natural health?
Well, in a lot of, what our degrees, we actually teach people to number one, maybe go in business for themselves.
And what would that business look like? Would it be a holistic health center where?
Well, as a holistic health practitioner, because you can just have a bachelor's degree and you can really put on there. I mean, you can't say you're a doctor, but you can say, well, I got 4 years of college as holistic health. And you can really call yourself a holistic health practitioner. Right.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. And
so if there's anybody out there that is interested in learning more about natural health or wants to get in touch with you, how would they get in touch with you for more information?
Well, there's two ways. I mean, we actually have faithcollegeofnaturalhealth.com. You can type that right in the in the URL section.
Okay.
Or our abbreviation is F as in faith, N as in natural. I'm sorry, F as in faith, C as in college, N as in natural, and H as in health. Just FCNH, and then put the EDU.
EDU.
The 3 words for education, and then .com.
Okay.
So FCNH edu.com is our abbreviated website.
Okay. Well, that's excellent. I know I've learned a lot. Is there anything else you want to share with us regarding either Faith College or natural medicine in general? Any upcoming activities or programs coming up?
Well, we are working on, at Joe's Resource Center.
Oh, absolutely.
Or helping seniors.
Yep.
We are in the planning stages of offering live lectures there.
Yes, that's going to be excellent. I think our community would really love that.
We have a professor on staff, Michael Edwards. He's a volunteer for your organization.
Yep.
He loves to teach live. He's a former teacher. He worked for one of the major nonprofits, and he traveled all over the state and went to various locations and taught nutrition and life skills and stuff to people, and also to veterans.
Yeah.
He visited some some bases where he was under contract to teach. So he has a great amount of experience. His bio is on the website as well as my bio. And, we're the only two professors right now.
Okay.
And
now, are these programs in person, online, or a combination of both?
a majority of them are online.
Okay.
The live lectures are just going to be, a few segments of courses, here and there.
Right.
Where like I said, it's in development right now.
Right.
Probably in the in the lower level courses, because I'm old school too. I like a classroom environment.
Right. Right.
Online is great, it's convenient, but I like going to a classroom and participating.
Yeah, that would be me too.
With
Yeah.
other students and with the teacher interacting, and I enjoy doing that.
Right.
And there's a lot of other people out there also that enjoy that.
Right.
So that's why we're going to be offering the
Excellent.
live,
I can't
the
wait
live
for
lectures.
it. Well, I'll be there listening. I'll be there in person,
Great.
looking for those.
Well, we ought to talk so we can get
yeah,
you.
let's chat.
so
Let's
we
chat
can
some
get you
more.
Some,
yeah, you got my attention.
certifications and natural health degrees.
So, you know what? I love today. I'm so glad Carrie asked me to sit in as host, because I got to have this wonderful discussion with you. Dr.
Well, you've been a wonderful host.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Kilday. It's been a pleasure. Everyone, you've been listening to Dr. Kevin Kilday with Faith College of Natural Health, our Helping Seniors of Brevard guest today on WEJF 90.3 FM, the Helping Seniors Radio Hour. And I wanted to digress a bit for a couple of things and share with you some calendar events that are coming up with Helping Seniors of Brevard that involves us. I wanted to share with you this Saturday on July 19th, Helping Seniors of Brevard will be at the Tide and Tonic Car Show, which is 8 a.m. to noon at Tide and Tonic Restaurant, which is in Indian Harbor Beach. It's a large car show. Our friend Bill Antonetz puts that on. And basically he says, come everyone, no matter what kind of car you have, if you want to show it off, if it's rusty, if it's pristine, he doesn't care. It's a great fun show, lots of wonderful cars. And Helping Seniors of Brevard will be on hand with your tickets to I would be remiss if I didn't mention our major fundraiser of the year, which is this is our 9th annual car raffle fundraiser. And our grand event happens on October 26th. That's a Sunday, out at the American Muscle Car Museum.
A great place.
It's wonderful. And as you know, that's not open to the public. Mark Pylock, we're so grateful to him. He opens the space for us for charitable events only. This year is going to be our best car our best car raffle fundraiser yet. Not only, so it's a $25 donation for one ticket, or a $100 donation gets you a bundle of 5 tickets. And what that gets you is it gets you entrance into the grand event, which is going to include a huge car show outside from Bill Antonetz. So we've had smaller car shows, but this is going to be a huge one. Plus, it gets you entry into the American Muscle Car Museum to see Mark Pylock's collection of 500 plus wonderful cars, vehicles, memorabilia all over the place. We're going to have great food from Buffalo Wild Wings to go, music, kids' activities. We're going to have also an additional drawing. Aside from the car drawing itself, we're going to have an additional drawing. You'll learn more about that as we approach October, for people to win walk away with an additional prize. But it all culminates in the grand drawing, which happens on October 26th around the 3:30 hour, where we will pull the winning ticket, and the winning ticket person gets to choose their choice of one of 7 brand new vehicles, all from Boniface Hires dealerships. There's SUVs available, I think the muscle car, they don't do the Dodge Challenger anymore, unfortunately, or the Chevy Camaro.
So there's 7 vehicles now?
Seven vehicles.
It used to be 3.
Yeah, and then it
Wow.
grew to 6, and now it's up to 7.
Wow.
One from each dealership. So you've got Kia, Mazda, Chevrolet, Dodge. What am I missing? Mazda. I'm missing one.
Mitsubishi.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Mitsubishi. Yes, can I forget that? So and winner's choice. So there's something for everyone. And the Dodge Hornet is the one that has a lot of, what do they call it, torque.
Yeah, also there's a Jeep.
And a Jeep, yes, yes. So it's all on our website if you're interested in getting tickets, and we hope you will, because it is how we keep helping seniors of Brevard running. We run very frugally, but we still need to operate and in order for us to provide those free resources and education to seniors. So you can get tickets by giving us a call on our phone number at Helping Seniors of Brevard is 321-473-7770, or you can go online at helpingseniorsofbrevardcarraffle.com, and you can get tickets that way, or anytime we are at an event such as Tide and Tonic this Saturday, 8 to noon. We'll also be this Saturday at the 5th Annual Warbird Museum Auto Show up there in Titusville. Is Titusville or Mims? The Warbird, North County, from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. So
that's in Titusville.
It's Titusville, yeah. So we're looking forward to that, and we'll have tickets on hand. And we thank all of you who have donated for a ticket in the past. We hope for your continued support. It's how we survive. And thank you to WEJF and John Harper, our president.